and welcome back to Causing Nebula. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about this content creator by the name of James Bola that went viral a few weeks ago for eating an outrageous amount of food. And I know that the trend on this content creator has really passed. A bunch of people have made content on him. Everybody said the same thing. Oh my God, how can he eat that much? So shocking, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. For the most part, whenever something becomes a trend, I find that a lot of content creators, they jump on it and everybody mostly repeats the exact same opinion over and over and over again. But when I saw this man's content, the first thing that I thought was, this is how you develop kidney disease. So if you are somebody and you are interested in developing end-stage renal failure and having to do dialysis one day, and you are wondering, what does a person have to eat in order to get to that point, this man is a perfect example of that. So you can see on TikTok, this man has almost 600,000 followers. And he, as you can see by the number of views he has on his content, he gets a lot of views for eating an outrageous amount of food. And he does it so nonchalantly. And I want to say that this person exists because of content creators like Nikocado Avocado. The internet let Nikocado Avocado become a millionaire. He became a millionaire by eating an outrageous amount of food, harming his health permanently in the long term, and then losing the weight. So even though Nikocado Avocado lost the weight, guess what? He permanently harmed his health, and he will probably die at a much younger age than he would have had he not done it. But because he was so quote unquote successful in doing it, you have all of these people like this man popping up to take advantage of a similar type of trend and basically trying to get paid for being super morbidly obese on the internet. And I wanted to go over his content and explain to people what the reality of eating like this is. So I wanted to go over some of this content and explain how what he is doing is harmful to his, not only his body, but especially to his kidneys and his liver. So this is how big this man is. This man is 28 years old and he looks like he's 48 years old, right? He is so fat that it has aged him by 20 years. This man is so fat that he weighs double his goddamn normal weight. He is most definitely class 2 obese, which means that he is at the age where you start to develop diseases. I know that a lot of people have this attitude where they feel like, you know, disease is something that happens to other people and not them. But at the end of the day, every single person on the earth has to get some disease and die. There exists no scenario when you would die of old age. Even people who die of quote unquote old age, they die of some kind of medical event, right? They don't just go into sleep and then die in their sleep. Usually it's a heart attack or a stroke. But this person here in front of us, he will more than likely not even make it to 40. And I know people say that all the time. And I think that because so many fat people make it to 40, that everybody thinks that like saying that people won't live past a certain age is not that serious, right? People think that just based on what they see in their everyday lives that, oh, I know somebody that's this big and they're 50 years old, so it's not true that everybody dies. Of course, not everybody will die, but at the end of the day, the majority of people his size don't make it that far. But you can see how big this man is. And apparently he didn't used to be this big. He recently put on all of this weight when he started his content. Because as I said, this man is trying to replicate what Nikocado Avocado did. Because he watched Nikocado Avocado become a millionaire by binge eating on the internet. And I don't understand why this is legal. But it is. And he is allowed to make money. And he makes a lot of money from it. So in this first video, this grown-ass man is about to eat 5 packs of ramen.
Snack, because we're waiting for my DoorDash to get here. It says it's me like 35 minutes for it to get here. So we're gonna eat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bulldog noodles carbonara.
That is, I know for sure, about I think 475, 500 calories. And this is the reason why I don't eat instant ramen. I don't eat it because, first of all, it's outrageously high in sodium. I know instant ramen has, I think, more than, usually it has like 1,500 milligrams or sometimes over 2,000 milligrams of sodium just in one pack. And as you know, I have kidney disease, so I don't need to have more than 1,500 milligrams of salt a day. And also, it's really high in calorie to food ratio. Whenever I cook ramen, like I'll have ramen like maybe once a year, once every 2 years, because even though it tastes good, it's not worth harming your body to eat this type of food. And I would say ramen like this is probably way worse than actual Japanese ramen. And it's way worse than actual Japanese ramen because actual Japanese ramen is all handmade, right? All of the meat is handmade, the broth is handmade, the noodles are handmade, and it is extremely nutritionally dense, even if it has technically probably like 700-800 calories in it. So that type of food is good for you despite being calorific because at least it has natural food in it. But this type of shit will kill you because it is processed. You don't see this type of thing in nature, but this man is going to sit here and eat this entire fucking thing.
5 packs of carbonara.
This is 2,500 calories worth of, and in sodium, this is probably 6 to 8,000 milligrams of sodium, which is probably multiple times the amount of sodium you need in a day. And he is adding cheese on top of it. And the internet has basically made being healthy into a big ass joke and being unhealthy into a really big ass joke. And I think that stuff like this happens because nobody is ever honest about the real ramifications of it. Like I said, there have been content creators who made these types of content that have died, and then you have the ones that have lived, and the ones that have lived, even though they've made a lot of money from it, they have not been very honest with the ramifications that they face while eating like this. But I know that in a lot of Asian countries, a lot of Asian content creators, they actually came out and said that their health numbers were getting way, way worse as they were continuously doing this type of content, and so a lot of them stopped. But in America, Americans have no fucking shame, and so this man is now adding cheese to his ramen because it's not enough, right? It's not enough to eat 5 packs. We have to eat 5 packs of ramen for 2,500 calories plus another 1,000, 2,000 calories of fucking cheese for maximum shock factor. And this video has 1.3 million hearts, which means it probably has tens of millions of views.
Bulldog noodles looks like. Let's have some cheese. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Good. My pizza's almost here. This is my snack.
And I know people think he's joking. No, he really ate this entire thing. He didn't eat it in this video, but this man, he ate at one time, I think like 7, 8, or 9 of those Maruchan cup noodle things. He ate like 10 of them at one time, and he ate the entire fucking thing. So he is going to eat all of this. And this type of thing is how you develop kidney disease. Like, I'm not joking at all. When you eat this kind of food, what it does is it raises your blood acidity level, first of all, and it makes your blood extremely acidic, and then your kidneys have to work on filtering out all of this processed junk that this type of food creates, right? All food in your body breaks down and it creates some kind of waste material, but at least natural food is real food. This shit isn't even real food. So your kidneys then have to work to filter and clean your blood up from all of this bullshit. And when you make your kidneys work overtime constantly for a long time, guess what? They start to die. And unlike your liver, your kidneys can never be cured of any kind of damage, and so you develop chronic kidney disease, which ultimately results in dialysis. And so when I was gaining weight, I would eat not ramen. Ramen was never one of my foods of choice, but I would eat really high carb processed food, and I did it for 24 months, and that is why I have stage 3 kidney failure. So this is another video of this man. He loves to say, I'm having a little snack, right? Because his goal is to troll us. But he ordered all of this goddamn food from, I think this is Papa John's, and he thinks it's just one big ass joke.
You guys, we have Papa John's mukbang. Let's get started. I'm so hungry. We're gonna start off with the Diet Pepsi, you guys. Diet Pepsi. Period. We're gonna wait.
His chin is on his chest. That's how fat he is. I would imagine that if he lost 300 pounds, he would probably look really nice. He probably have a nice, really chiseled jawline. But this man is destroying his health just so that he can make money on the internet. And the people who watch this content are the biggest losers, right? Why would you subscribe to this man to watch him destroy himself? Even if what he is doing is shocking, it's not even that entertaining. For me, I like content like this because you can see what people are willing to do to be famous. And I find that to be the shocking part. Like, people have grown so fucking pathetic in this world that they will literally do anything to get attention. But more importantly, people are so stupid that they will watch people do this shit and give them that attention. And I know people think that this man is joking. He's not joking. He is going to eat all of this fucking food. He's going to eat all of it. And he has eaten even more than this on camera. Like, he thinks that this is a big ass joke. He's eaten probably 10,000 calories on camera, and he's done it multiple times. And unlike other fat people like Chantal and Berlin, They generally cannot put as much food as this man can in his stomach, but he actually eats all of it. Like, he's not joking. At my worst, I would not be able to eat this entire pizza. I would probably be able to eat half of it, but right now I could probably eat maybe 2 slices of it, and then I would get sick and tired of eating it. But a lot of fat people, they really see this shit as a big ass joke. And I will say that before I developed kidney disease, I did not know that obesity and overeating like this could lead to kidney disease. I had no idea. But I never thought that it was a joke, right? I never thought that eating like this was something that you should just do to troll the internet and have fun, and it's a big ass laugh and you can get paid to do it, right? At least I had the shame to be embarrassed by it, right? Nobody knew at the time that I was eating this much fucking I was living alone, and I was eating this much food almost every single day for 24 fucking months, which caused my kidneys to be completely destroyed.
Would you guys have like a little McDonald's breakfast?
So on this platter, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 hash browns, and then he has McGriddle. He has 3 McDonald's pancakes, and then he has 4 egg McMuffins. And he's about to sit and eat all of it. And I think that people think that he's joking. He's not joking. He is going to eat all of this fucking food. This video is 3 minutes long, and he is going to sit here and eat all of it. And he is getting paid to do this. This video only has 10,000 likes, so his content doesn't even get that fucking many views. I remember Nikado Avocado had like 3 or 4 different channels, and he probably averaged several million views per day on YouTube, which is why he earned his money. But from what I understand, TikTok doesn't pay nearly as much as places like YouTube pay. So he is doing this for, I guess, a few $1,000s a fucking month. And he probably is earning like an average salary for an American, which is probably like $40,000, $50,000 a year. And he is paying for it with his fucking life. Like, this man is going to end up on dialysis. I'm not joking. I'm not being hyperbolic at all. He's going to end up on dialysis, because this is how you end up on dialysis. If you really hate your life and you want to be connected to a machine where it filters your blood for you because your kidneys can no longer do it, and you can no longer use the bathroom, and you can no longer urinate, and you want to drink 2 liters of water a day and no more, otherwise it will cause stress on your heart, you should try to eat like him so that you can be hooked up to a dialysis machine for the rest of your life. Because even though you can get a kidney transplants generally last about 10 to 12 years. If you are lucky, they will last longer. But I know that movies always try to make it seem like people get transplants and they live their life happily for the rest of their life. But no, when you get a transplant, guess what? The transplant eventually fails again. And then you need to get another one, and then eventually you just die. Right? So this man is most definitely eating himself to kidney failure. And he's doing it on the internet with this big ass audience, and people are cheering him on. Here's this grown ass man with 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 half subs from
Today we have
maybe Subway.
Healthy mukbang.
So his job is just basically trying to troll us. Why the fuck is this shit popular? That's what I want to know. Why do people watch this type of shit? And who is the audience for this type of content? And I think people will be like, oh, it's feeders. But are that many people fucking feeders? Really? Are that many people into this type of fetish? I don't think that that's true. I think what it is that a lot of people like really low-hanging fruit entertainment, and they will come along and just watch this type of nonsense bullshit just because it's on the internet, and they don't really think too hard about it. But I would never give this person money by watching his content.
We have Subway mood. We got 3 footlongs. We have we have some chips over here on the side. We have some Doritos, Lay's, and Hot Cheetos. I was trying to get baked chips, but they didn't have any. So let's dig in. Take a bite, take a bite, take a bite.
Ridiculous. This shit is so disgusting. He is so disgusting. And the fact that his family lets him do this and nobody tries to stop him is also what is so shocking to me. Right? Because when I used to overeat, nobody knew that I overate as much as I did, and I was never fucking walking around almost 500 goddamn pounds. But this man is almost 500 fucking pounds, and he is just sitting in his car eating 3-foot-long subs with 4 bags of chips. And this is probably 3,000, probably 4,000 calories. And this is how you destroy your health. If you are in the business of destroying your health, this is how. I read a kidney book one time, and it said that the type of calories that you eat is very important. So I know that a lot of people, they talk a lot about calorie in, calorie out, but actually the quality of calories you eat is very important. So eating processed food like this, your body on a cellular level communicates with other cells completely differently than it does when you eat nutritional food. This is why this type of fucking food leads to cancer. Right? Because you have actually cells in your body, and I know this is probably going to scare a lot of people. you actually produce cancer cells on a regular basis. But what you have is you have other cells that have the job of seeking out cancer cells and destroying them before cancer sets in, right? But when you feed your body this type of shit, guess what? Your body is not very good or efficient at doing these types of duties because you are not fueling it properly. But this man, he'll be on dialysis in a few years, and I'm not joking. You don't just stay healthy forever. So he is only 28 years old, and being 28 years old is a benefit for him. But when I was 28 years old, I'm pretty sure I was already in the early stages of kidney failure, and I just didn't know it, because your kidneys, when they sustain damage quietly. The only way to know that your kidneys are being damaged is to take a blood test and check. But because I was 28 years old, and because this man is only 28 years old, guess what? I guarantee you he doesn't go to the doctor that often, right? Usually when people get into their 30s and 40s, they start to go into the doctor yearly for regular blood checkups. But I guarantee you a man like this, who is so neglectful of his health anyway, I guarantee you he doesn't go to the doctor but once every few years, and probably only when he gets some kind of serious illness, because that's what a lot of really fat people do. They don't go to the doctor regularly because they already know what the doctor's going to say and they don't want to hear it, right? So they want to be left alone to eat the food that they eat. But I was already in the early stages of kidney failure when I was 28, and I had no symptoms of it. And then when I was, I think, 30, I was diagnosed with stage 3 kidney failure. And so all he has to do is get high blood pressure, diabetes, and those two diseases in and of themselves will contribute to kidney damage. But outside of those two diseases, there are a ton of illnesses that also affect the kidneys, and obesity is another one, right? Obesity spurs on a lot of those diseases that will attack the kidneys and also the liver. So what you see in a lot of dialysis clinics, I've heard, right? Because I don't know from firsthand experience, because I am not on dialysis yet, but I've heard that in the United States, there are a lot of super morbidly obese people on dialysis, and apparently a lot of dialysis patients have really poor patient compliance, which means they do not follow all of the rules you have to follow in order to be a dialysis patient. And because your kidneys have shut down, you can no longer regulate your potassium, magnesium, sodium levels. You can no longer regulate water intake. And so the machine does all of this for you. It cleans your blood for you. And so you have to be careful with the food you eat, the types of foods you eat, the amount you eat. You have to be careful with what you drink. And apparently there are a lot of dialysis patients in the United States especially that will blatantly ignore all of the doctor's warnings and all of the doctor's instructions on what they should and shouldn't eat. And I've read stories of people walking into dialysis clinics with fast food, walking into dialysis clinics with those super large, drinks you can get at 7-Eleven in the US, those big gulps, buying those big ass drinks, walking in there with a gallon of carbonated drink and shit, and just doing whatever they want because they think that it's a big ass joke, which is why dialysis patients have a very high rate of death in young people, mostly because doing dialysis is a stress on your heart anyway, because basically it is pulling all your blood out and spinning it through a machine and putting it back. And when your body is already weak and your heart is already fucking weak, and you are on top of that not following directions, guess what? You're gonna die a whole lot fucking sooner. But this man thinks it's a big ass joke, and a lot of other people think that this type of behavior is a big ass joke. But I am here to tell you that it is not a big ass joke. In this video, this man is eating some kind of bread, and these things look already like 400 calories fucking each.
Conchas. If you guys don't know what conchas are, they're a Mexican sweet bread. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And
I can't stand this man. When I was fat, I would never eat some shit like this. I would never eat this amount of food when I was fat. Like, I know what it takes to get fat because I was almost 300 pounds. Thought at the time that I ate a lot, but I didn't think I ate an outrageous amount. But when I see people like this man, and you see how much he eats, it makes me realize how much other fat people eat, like Amberlynn Reed and Anna O'Brien. Those two women are 500 pounds. This man, I don't think right now is 500 pounds yet, but we can see how fucking much he eats. And I know he doesn't record himself eating 100% of it, but he has a few videos going around on the internet of him sitting and eating all of it. He basically shortens the video because this is TikTok, but he does eat all of this shit. He does it every single time. And this man, as we can see, has not even broken 500 pounds yet. So imagine how much Anna O'Brien and Amberlynn Reid have to fucking be eating off camera in order to justify their goddamn weight. Which really irks me about those two content creators specifically, because I know that Foodie Beauty, she shows everything that she eats majority of the time because she uses it as content in order to make money. But you can see that Foodie Beauty is smaller than both Anna and Amberlynn. So we can see that Foodie Beauty eats an outrageous amount of fucking food, and she is still smaller than both of those two women. And then this man is sitting here in front of us eating this massive, outrageous amount of food, and he is still smaller than those two women. And I know that Anna O'Brien, Glitter and Lasers, I know that she has, lymphedema. I know that she has that condition. But that condition was caused by her being already fucking fat. And I know she goes out of her way to pretend like she doesn't eat that much. But these type of people like him and other fat people that actually reveal how much they truly eat on the internet, they confirm everybody's assumptions, right? That those two content creators in particular are eating an out fucking outrageous amount of food. And Amberlynn, what gets me is that Amberlynn has never showed herself buying so much food to justify, right, eating 6, 7, 8,000 calories a day. She has never even shown herself buying that amount of food on a regular basis. I know she has like slipped up here and there and she's talked about it, but she almost never fully shows how bad it is on camera. But we can take people like James Bola and we can use him as an example of how much she also has to be eating, how much Glitter and Lasers also has to fucking be eating. Because there's no way that their lifestyles are completely different when they both weigh way more than he does. And in the case of Glitter and Lasers, Anna is 5'11" fucking inches tall, so she's already big as fuck. And I know for me, I'm the same height as she is. Right now, to lose weight, I'm eating 1,500 calories a day. And I know that she loves to lie and say she can't lose weight because of her fucking lymphedema, which is partially true. But she has to be eating upwards of 4,000 calories a day just to be maintaining her big ass fucking body. I gain weight eating 2,500 calories to 3,000 a day. I still gain weight up to 100 kilograms. And Anna O'Brien is at least probably 160 kilograms, right? She's at least 400, 500 pounds. And Amberlynn Reid is the same, 400, 500 pounds. And in order to maintain these big ass bodies, they are eating upwards of 4,000 a day. Probably closer to 6,000 every day. And this man sitting in front of him, you can probably see he has 8 or 9 of these. This is probably like 3,000 or 4,000 calories in just this. So we can see that how much other fat people have to eat even if they don't show it on camera. Irks me that this is content. It irks me that you can get famous on the internet making this type of bullshit content. It irks me that this is legal on the internet, that the internet allows it, that everybody treats it like a joke. But at the end of the day, this will guarantee result in dialysis. I know people love to talk about you're going to have a heart attack, you're going to have a heart attack. Shit, if you have a heart attack, at least you'll die faster, right? A heart attack will kill you faster. A stroke will kill you faster. If you fuck up your liver or your kidneys, guess what? It is going to be a very slow and uncomfortable and painful as fuck death. And this man, he has dialysis on speed dial at this point because there exists no scenario in which his body is not going to break down. And the only reason it hasn't broken down yet is because he is only 28 years old. But like I always tell people, guess what? Disease is not fair, and disease is something that eventually happens, right? People think I'm healthy now and I'm going to be healthy forever, but at the end of the day, every single person has to die. And so what happens is your body gets to a point where it can no longer withstand this type of treatment, and then it just starts breaking down and your organs start to break down. And in the case of your kidney, like I've said 1,000 times, in the case of your kidneys break down very silently. They are the only organ in your entire fucking body that will completely and utterly go into end stage failure with no symptoms until you reach end stages. Your liver will warn you, your lungs will warn you, your heart will warn you, your brain will warn you, your bowels will warn you, your bladder will warn you, but your kidneys, those are the two fuckers that will leave you out to dry by failing with no warning signs. And there are even cases of people with kidney disease who went to sleep and they never woke up. And when they did the autopsy, they found that the person was in end-stage renal failure and the person had no symptoms of it. And when your kidneys finally shut down, usually what happens is that too much potassium builds up in your blood, and you know potassium is something used to stop the heart, and so their heart stops beating overnight, and then they just don't wake up in the morning. So if that is a future that you wish for, if you hope, like, you know, Cosmic Nebula, I really want to be on dialysis and have to get a kidney transplant and fuck up my entire life, I would recommend that you eat like James Bola, because that is the quickest and easiest way to get there. But this has been a Cosmic Nebula video, and I will see y'all in the next one.